I got 3 hot takes I want to throw out all at once. Each one individually isn't really worth an entire video, so I'm just going to do this one at a time in this video. Okay, take number 1. Quiet quitting. Oh, I guess people don't want to work anymore. What's going on? Shut the fuck up. People who barely even qualify as working for a living are now complaining that the people that they exploit aren't willing to go the extra mile. Well, let me explain something to you. Most of the people that are quiet quitting are minimum wage. So basically what you're complaining about is that someone you pay the minimal amount possible is doing the minimal amount possible. Nothing more speaks to the tremendous fucking hypocrisy of capitalists than complaining about this. They all talk about it's a free and fair market for labor, and if you don't like your job, quit it and get a new one. And the market will pay what it can, and you for hard workers, they'll succeed and make more money. You literally just did the opposite. You literally did. You set a thing, what it is you're supposed to do in a day, and here's the wage for it. And then when somebody does that, you complain. What you're complaining about is that someone wouldn't go above and beyond for someone that they don't care about. Just like the capitalist doesn't care about the worker. Basically, that's it. You didn't get more than what it is that you paid for. And then turn around and say it's about a free market, and then if you work hard to get rewarded. Nobody actually believes that. Sorry, but this, if you work really hard, you'll get more, is something really reserved for the top 10% of jobs. Not really the everyday average worker who is the one who is quiet quitting. If you do excel super hard and super fast at a minimum wage job like McDonald's, you're not going to get more money. You're actually just going to get more work for the same amount of pay. So to everybody whining out there, boomers or the capitalists in general, whining about quiet quitting, go fuck yourself. Another thing I keep seeing is the news about Alexander Dugin's daughter being killed by what is essentially a car bomb that was probably intended for him. Now, obviously, this is murdering a journalist. This is, if it's intentional, it's murdering a journalist, which is already a crime in and of itself. But the fact that she was killed is not what this take is about. It's people going around and literally saying things like, this is a new low, even for imperialism. What are you talking about? You ever heard of Julian Assange? Have you ever heard of the 1.5 million Iraqis that died as a result of the US invasion? Killing this journalist, who is a fascist, is the new low? What are you even talking about? Do you not know what imperialism has done over the last several hundred years? Why don't you just come out and admit that you're a Dugin fan and you support his fascist theory? Because claiming that simply killing a journalist is a new low is false. The collateral murder video is 100 times worse than this. The invasion of Afghanistan and killing another 1.5 million people is much worse than this. So I don't understand where you're getting this idea that it's somehow a new low. It's not. It's actually fairly tame compared to what it is that imperialism does on a daily basis. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to really disagree with you on this one. Okay, now it's time for a nuclear take. Many of you are probably aware of what's going on with Claire Sorrenti and Kiwi Farms, and that Kiwi Farms swatted them, and they, because I don't know what their pronouns are because they keep changing, swatted them, and now they had to flee for their lives as a result of this. Now, obviously, that's unacceptable. that should not be allowed to go. And obviously, Kiwi Farms is a horrendous place that literally only exists to harass people. And there isn't even really much of any ideological consistency behind it. It's just attack people for whatever. And one of the people that they've attacked is me. So I do, to some degree, know about that. I mean, I have been doxxed by Nazis. I have had death threats by people like that. Even people like Tim Cicada, who got people to call members of my family and threaten to kill them, who's allegedly a leftist. Now, I just want to point something out. While what is being done to Sorrenti is wrong and shouldn't happen, I have absolutely no sympathy for them whatsoever. I'm wondering if everybody forgot that Sorrenti is a flaming piece of garbage. An absolute disgusting excuse for a human being. Does everybody forget that they also doxed people? That they also went around calling multiple people transphobe for disagreeing with them over the issue of prostitution, which had nothing to do with transgenderism. And they've gone on to harass people. And they've gone on to try to ruin people's lives. Like trying to get me fired from my job for disagreeing over the issue of prostitution. So, I really don't have much sympathy for Sorrenti, considering what a despicable person they actually are. This in no way justifies what Kiwi Farms is doing, or what the history of Kiwi Farms has done to many people. But I really don't have any sympathy for someone who is as much of a slandering... It's hard to come up with an insult within YouTube's terms of service, because you're not allowed to imply that someone is less than human. Let me just put it that way. So all the people that they have lied about, everyone that they have harassed, everyone they have tried to get fired from their jobs for disagreeing with them over an issue that was not a deal breaker. Like, we're not talking about harassing a fascist here. We're talking about harassing other leftists. Being an outright narcissistic sociopath that got kicked out of the Communist Party of Canada for being such a complete, toxic, awful excuse for a human being. I really have no sympathy for them at all. None. None. They're a complete narcissist who makes up lies about people to boost themselves, and then often makes themselves out to be a victim when all that happened to them was being criticized. Again, because I know a lot of the people who are watching this video have the brain function of a goddamn turnip, this does not justify what Kiwi Farms has done. But don't expect me to have sympathy for someone like that. For someone who is nothing more than a narcissistic, raging liberal pretending to be a leftist. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.